Good afternoon. My name is Adrian Desasor, and today I will be talking about the causes and the consequences of drone warfare. I'd like to start by saying, in today's day and age, we have so much access to the internet. We have all the information we need at any given time at the touch of our palms. Our phones are essentially mobile computers. We can look up anything at any time. And with that being the case, you can, at a click of a button, pretty much see how warfare has adapted over the generations. You can look up right now Reddit, Google, Twitter, or X nowadays, and see, the war in Ukraine and how they're using drones pretty much to fight the war. Humans are still out there, men, women are still out there, but drones are the main driving force of how Ukraine and Russia are attacking each other. Back in previous wars, um, the war in the Middle East, for example, Afghanistan and Iraq, the war was boots on ground, tanks, Humvees, JLTVs, things of that nature, and those type of vehicles were used to transport goods, troops, things of that nature, anything that America needed to transport. And that was being countered by enemies of the United States in the Middle East by IEDs. In today's day and age, you see IEDs be planted on drones instead of in the ground. You can fly a drone 500 meters to a point of attack, and that totally has changed warfare from now on. And it's just a crazy thing to see. The increasing integration of AI in modern warfare is driven by countries' pursuit of faster decision making. They are also trying to reduce the risk of human casualty for friendlies. Of course, enemy casualties is something that friendly nations are not worried about too much, but that is on the rise with the rise of drone warfare. Technological dominance and the risk of autonomous conflict escalation. Now, with all of that being said, there's a moral stance where some individuals might think that the usage of drones takes the humanity out of war, and that may be immoral to some. But on the other side, there are some people that think that there are no rules in war. So again, it'll be a forever ongoing battle of who's right and who's wrong in those instances. Again, like I said, the increasing usage of AI in modern warfare has granted countries who are going about war this way a more vast variety of attacks. These drone attacks are not limited to are not limited to cases of friendly fire in the U.S.-led war on terrorism. Pretty much what that's saying is, yes, you use drones, but that does not automatically negate friendly fire. I feel as though you are accepting a certain amount of risk when using drones, because at some point drones are good at hitting a point target, but with some cases drones are so random in how they explode, you might end up hitting more than just your target. It's just the nature of drone warfare. You got to take the bad with the good in those cases. Another thing that people bring up when talking about drone warfare is, just like morals, there is a missing piece of intimacy in comparison to prior generations of war. Boots on the ground. Think of D-Day. Troops getting off a boat, storming Normandy. It's unfortunate, but there is a level of intimacy. People are experiencing war firsthand versus from behind the screen using a remote control to control a motorized aircraft that can carry 20 tons of TNT. So Another thing that I researched in my time doing this is that the rate at which unmanned aircrafts are being deployed now in this current day of warfare, the next war that either country fights may be completely unmanned as far as boots on the ground. Of course, America has X amount of bases overseas. There's always going to be cases where boots are on ground inside of American bases, enemy bases. But as far as like on the front lines in a neutral site war, that might go away in the coming wars just because drones are so volatile, drones are so pivotal in the nature of gaining control over certain areas and things of that nature. And one last point I would like to make in the consequences. Drone warfare, the military, both U.S., American, and enemy, they talk about mutually agreed destruction. For example, nuclear warfare. All countries have agreed that nuclear warfare is not of the best interest of the whole entire world. In my opinion, I feel like drone warfare is a step in the wrong direction in mutually assured destruction. I appreciate you for listening to my speech. You have a nice day.